Welcome to Galaxidy, a lovely Greek town on the northern shore of the Gulf of Corinth. Since 2009, OceanCare have been working together with Giovanni and Silvia to study and protect dolphins and their habitat.
I am a marine conservation biologist and I've been doing work on dolphins in the Mediterranean since I was a student. As a kid, I was lucky to have chances to be on the seaside and see with my eyes the beauty and the diversity below the water surface. Some 40 years ago, I would go snorkeling with my father and I would see marine life that simply isn't there anymore. Biodiversity has declined so much, but there is still a lot of beauty out there that deserves to be protected. And a few years ago, Sylvia and I created a group called Dolphin Biology and Conservation, and we are now working in partnership with OceanCare. The Gulf of Corinth is our main study area in Greece.
Well, when we started in 2009, working here with dolphins in the Gulf of Corinth, we knew really little. We knew just that there were 3 species of dolphins living here and more or less where they were distributed. After 5 years, we have, of course, a better understanding of what is going on and how many dolphins there are. We are focusing on the understanding if their numbers are increasing, decreasing, or if they are stable, and then we would like to understand if there are any human impacts that are affecting these dolphin populations.
My name is Nina and I am a research assistant here in this project. So I really like what I do here, and as a student I think this is a great learning opportunity. The great thing here is that you can train on different species, not just striped dolphins, but also common and bottlenose dolphins. And also more in general, I'm learning what is the work that needs to be done to run a field station and a research project like this. I think that Giovanni and Silvia are very good teachers because they have a lot of experience. They have done this for many years. They know how to explain to you what is important, not only by telling you, but also little by little by giving you more responsibility in the work in a way that you learn from what you do. When you do this kind of research, sometimes you have the opportunity to be very close to the dolphins and to really observe what they're doing, how they behave. You really see how complex they are.
I think this particular project in this particular area and these particular people kind of create the perfect package of collaborating with different folks around the world. And that's one thing that struck me when I first met Silvia and Giovanni, is their passion. Being out on the boat with Silvia has really been eye-opening for me to see her in her element, and she's just amazing. She has an eye for finding these animals. It's often like a needle in a haystack, and she somehow can see them when many others, even experienced people, have trouble finding them. So she has all these different qualities that you don't always see combined in one individual. It's been a really wonderful field experience here with her on so many levels, not just professionally, but also being here personally.
Studying dolphins in the wild is challenging work, requiring experience, patience, and commitment. The very qualities that Giovanni and Silvia contribute to this long-term project. The work includes nurturing the hope that marine wildlife in the Gulf of Corinth can be preserved for future generations, and that people understand the importance as well as the beauty of a healthy marine environment.
What I really like about my job is leaving the port quite early in the morning and see the calm sea around me, and with this feeling of starting the day and look for dolphins. The emotion that this calm and quiet sea can give you. To understand how many dolphins there are here in the Gulf, what we usually do is a simple technique. So we go out when the sea is calm and we look for dolphins, and if we are lucky and if we find them, then we start to do photo identification.
By doing this over time, you are able to build a database, and from the database you can do many different kind of analysis. The work I'm doing is using this kind of data with a lot of statistical analysis to obtain the population abundance.
When we are with the dolphins, we try to stay as close as possible, but in a way that we do not interfere in their activities and change in their behavior. What we think is important for our project is to have also a good relationship with the local fishermen, because they can be really, really helpful in our research. So every time it happened to have a chat with a local fisherman, there is always some new information that they are giving us.
Fishermen spend much of their life at sea, and they are amazingly experienced. It is quite common that after years of scientific research we come to very similar conclusions. For instance, a fisherman from Galaxidi recently told Silvia that bottlenose dolphins travel in and out of the Gulf of Corinth, and some individuals can be seen in distant areas of the Ionian Sea, and that is the very same conclusion that we reached after years of photo identification work.
I just go there asking for information about their activities and if they see dolphins, if they have any problem.
Talking to fishermen complements the understanding we get from our work at sea, and it brings the additional pleasure of merging two realities that are often separated. And the fishermen here know that we wake up in the morning and go out at sea, sometimes facing uncomfortable weather pretty much as they do. And most of the time we just seem to be sharing and liking the same kind of basic lifestyle. Dimitris, one of our fishermen friends here, even accepted to lecture to people coming here to study and watch dolphins in the wild. He's eager to tell people about his life experience and tell them how fishing works and how diverse and rich the Gulf of Corinth used to be only a few decades ago. And that is a great experience for the participants in this project, because they have a chance of interacting with someone experienced who brings a fresh and different perspective to the work we do. Participants in this project bring life, cultural diversity, and by interacting with them, we feel like we are doing something important and worthwhile. Interaction with them gives meaning to what we do.
The volunteers, usually they spend a week with us. They learn the meaning of seeing a dolphin out in the nature, in its environment, compared to what we see in a dolphinarium, in a pool. With this approach, I think they have a better understanding of the dolphin life, but also on the entire marine environment that is rotating around the dolphins.
Last but not least, the participants in this project contribute to the funding of our research and allow us to conduct long-term investigations that otherwise would be difficult to implement. In addition to OceanCare, one of our main research partners is the Texas A&M University, where Silvia is doing her PhD. A month ago, we organized a marine biology course in collaboration with our dear friend Bernd Wirsig, who is a professor at Texas A&M University. And students from around the world had chances to come here and learn about the local ecosystem.
An aspect that is really important is to work with the local kids. If we have the opportunity and the chance to share our emotions and our knowledge with them, and they will be young adults that at least one of them will care about the environment. This kid in few years can be the change, at least at the local level.
Here in Greece, coastal areas still look extremely beautiful, but in terms of biodiversity and abundance of life, it is nothing like it used to be.
The main problems regarding dolphins population are chemical pollution from industry or from cities, and then could be acoustic pollution if there are a lot of boats around or a lot of naval activities, and then if there is overfishing, so industrial fisheries that are taking too much fish away from the sea, so the dolphins, they don't have any food left for them.
By working in Greece and Italy, I can see that the problems we find at the local and regional levels are pretty much the same that one finds at the global level. Unsustainable fishing pressure and destructive fishing methods have devastated entire ecosystems, and today only a very few marine areas can still be called pristine.
Artisanal fishermen and dolphins are facing probably the same threats, the same problem, especially regarding overfishing. The artisanal are smaller boats, smaller amount of nets, and they fish for their family or maybe just for the restaurant in town, but that's it.
My name is Dimitris, and I'm a local fisherman here in Galaxy City. Today, all the fishermen that still exist, they make living partially from fishing and partially from other sources of income. There's no way that you can raise a family today by strictly doing fishing in the Corinthian Bay.
If I'm asked to name the one factor that caused most damage, I would think of commercial fishing, especially by trawlers and seiners. These boats have been causing so much destruction. Industrial fishing has impoverished the marine environment with the usual logic of take whatever you can today and leave nothing to future generations.
The main reason is the big commercial boats. They drag the bottom, they destroy everything. They could care less about the ecological damage they do as long as they catch enough fish to be satisfied. If this thing continues, the Corinthian Bay will be just an empty, dead sea.
Together with my colleagues, I've been doing my best to help defend the marine environment I so much like. I guess I'm driven by a desire to preserve some of the beauty that is all around us. And I feel saddened and guilty for the wounds inflicted by mankind and by myself to this fragile planet. During my lifetime, I have seen many negative changes, and that doesn't leave much space for hope. And yet, I also realized that some things are slowly changing for the better. For instance, our understanding of the natural world has improved, and one of the most important realizations is that animals are not as dissimilar from us as we have thought. Our perception of the animal world is slowly changing in a way that let us understand that animals experience pleasure and pain, excitement and boredom like us. And we don't like to suffer, and animals don't like to suffer either. It's as simple as that. And I think that we should do our best to prevent animal populations from declining and individuals from suffering as a consequence of our actions.